Okay, so let's. Oh, since you mentioned the airdrop, I actually want to ask more about it. So, firstly, like how many like unique users will be able to receive the airdrop, and so far, like, is there any other way that users can do more to get more airdrop from the project?
So this current airdrop is fixed and had been set a few weeks ago. It was managed through a partner company, the Satoshi app, and this airdrop amounts are fixed, and so the total amount of the airdrop and how many people will ultimately receive the airdrop is up to the users. So they have to go and they had to register their address and then claim from the airdrop. So we'll see what those actual numbers end up being, and we're very excited. I guess we're about 7 hours away from seeing the beginnings of that and what that might be. But in terms of people that had done work to earn potential allocations in this airdrop, I think there was mid-single digit millions globally, which is or maybe even higher, which is very very exciting.
Sure. So apart from this airdrop as it's closed, as I understand, so is there any other campaigns that you plan to do, or is there any other campaigns going on at the moment?
We haven't announced anything yet, but this growth of our community is very important to us. This ethos of making the low cost basis tokens and the anchor of our chain being with our users is very important to us. So I think as you see us launch other initiatives, as you see us deploy other partnerships, you could take learnings from this initial pattern, this initial way that we worked on our airdrop and our distribution. We'll take learnings from that, and you'll probably see patterns of similar behavior and similar things in the future, but we haven't announced anything specific yet on what that might look like.
That sounds good. And also, I have a small question because I believe we have seen the good user base of the project, and we might expect like heavy network traffic after the TGE. So, what would be your suggestions for the users who want to claim their tokens?
Yeah, I think don't get impatient. One thing that we have been seeing is there's a lot of folks with that have been coming forward with scammers and fraudulent impersonations of core, and so continue to be careful, continue to be vigilant, especially and have some patience as we may see some network congestion. We're anticipating network congestion. Have some patience as it resolves. I think it's one of those things that we were trying to look at some comps, and it might be one of the largest. It might be the largest smart contract interaction in history, depending on the size of the community that shows up, which would be incredibly exciting and is a huge homage to the community and folks that are believers in core and excited for core. I guess along with that, we don't know exactly what we're going to run into, and network congestion is something that I would anticipate, but we can't say for certain what that will look like. So just be patient, don't get impatient, and start looking for other ways, and make sure you're being very careful and very vigilant, and working with trustworthy links and trustworthy organizations.
Yes, guys, you need to be careful about the scammers. Okay. Yeah. So sure. So let's dig more into the ecosystem side. So since like we will like the mainnet is we will be live, and I want to ask if there were like new projects that will come and build on the core mainnet, and what kind of the support or assistance will you provide to the projects or like to the assets in the future.
Brendan, do you want to touch on some of the existing work, and I'll maybe touch on some of the future work?
Yeah, that sounds great, CJ. Thanks. And yeah, great comments on the airdrop tomorrow. So yeah, let's talk about what users can do on Core tomorrow once they have tokens. So it's important to note that mainnet's live, so it's good to go. And then tomorrow the tokens will be, or not tomorrow, sorry, in 7 hours, ish, the tokens will be available. So we're getting really close. Um, and what our focus has been initially is to kind of get some key building blocks in place for the core ecosystem, because we have, again, a really long-term view. So we've been really focused on getting those key blocks. The first of which was a bridge partner, which we've announced on Twitter. So working with Layer Zero there, that's going to allow us to interact with other blockchains for people to bridge assets into Core and get more activity on the chain. It really makes that a lot more simple. And then the second piece was an Oracle provider. So we've partnered with Switchboard, which is going to be providing trustless API feeds for on and off chain data. So you can imagine if you're a builder and a developer who wants to launch an app on Core, a lot of times you rely on services like this to provide pricing data and other pieces within your actual app. So that's another just key building block that we have in place. Right after mainnet launches, we've got dozens of projects, I think 40 plus, that are just waiting to deploy their contracts because they also do not have core tokens yet. So they'll be getting those very shortly as well. They'll be able to deploy their contracts immediately. We're excited about a bunch of DeFi products. We have multiple DEXs launching, lend borrow projects, and other financial derivatives that are very exciting to us. And then a lot of fun, just NFT projects. May, I noticed you must be into that with your PFP there. But yeah, a lot of great projects had sold out on the testnet, and there just seems to be a lot of cool, honestly, just fun projects launching. So we're excited about that too. And for a lot of the community coming into blockchain for the first time, this is kind of their first time seeing NFTs, so there's a lot of excitement there. And then, yeah, on the other short term, I should also note we're going to launch. We will be sharing our roadmap shortly, so you can expect that this month, which will detail more, and we'll want to be engaging the community to help us really kind of craft this vision moving forward. But the other key piece you'll see this year is kind of laying the foundation for games. We're excited about games. We think the community are really going to enjoy a lot of future gaming projects, and we're believers that that's going to be a big driving force to get people into blockchain. So we're excited about that. With that being said, a lot of great stuff that we have a long vision for that CJ would love for you to speak to that.
Sure. So I think coming back to this idea of bringing 6.9 billion people from Web 2 into Web 3, looking at the current penetration of digital currency and how really early we are, the median and mode ownership of digital currency today globally is zero. The most common thing for people to do with digital currency is own zero digital currency. And we all believe that that's going to be meaningfully non-zero in the future. If you're listening to this space, you're at a minimum curious about digital currency and the ecosystem. And so, what types of things are blockchains able to unlock? As we talked about earlier, many new layer ones since Ethereum have taken a step away from governance in order to have a benefit that they bring in their design, typically in the cost of a transaction or the speed of a transaction. But that step away from governance loses the root and the core principle, really the core of a digital currency system, in being able to trust computers over trusting humans. And if you look at our current world, we trust humans in a lot of ways that are incredibly inefficient, that we think a platform like Core enables applications to be built that start to evolve the way society works and operates. And so simple interactions that we've looked at and we've seen entrepreneurs building that we've been able to spend time with are, as an example, could be looking at a rider and a driver, an example of a ride-sharing company like an Uber. You have a rider and a driver, they have a simple interaction that they're looking to accomplish, and you have this system that sits in the middle that today is made up of a lot of people and high profit margins. It ends up being expensive for the rider, and only a fraction of that expense makes its way to the driver. The owners of that system that's in the middle, that web of humans, the owners of that are not the rider and the driver themselves. And a digital currency based system is able to take an interaction and it's able to create rules where you can trust computers and efficiently transfer value between those two stakeholders. And the stakeholders can actually be owners in the ecosystem itself. Beyond just the Uber analogy, you could look at other versions of large Web 2 companies. You could look at a listener and a musician, that type of dynamic. And there's many examples where you have this rent seeker in the middle that is kind of an incumbent web of humans that digital currency based systems can replace. And I think that's really the next wave or the next iteration of the promise of digital currency is creating systems that start to augment core functions that will ultimately help adopt, create valuable applications and use cases for the 6.9 billion people to come over to Web3. In order for that to even happen, though, you have to have a foundation, and I think that's has to have the governance that is robust enough to serve as an anchor for those applications. And I think that's really Bitcoin's proof of work. And you can have that hybrid by enabling, as we've designed, by enabling people to build applications on top of it. The mix of all those things, I think, is really a prior that's required in order to enable innovation like this in the digital currency ecosystem. So that's some of the future looking stuff that we're excited about at Core.
Thanks for sharing all this. So I think Brandon mentioned that you will do some development into the gaming side. So can I say that that will be the main focus of the Core Door project in the coming 3 months, or you have some other things apart along the side as well?
Yeah, we can share that. So that's just one of the things that we're excited about this year. And I think CJ could touch on this because he's been in tech similar to myself for a while. Good games take quite a bit of time to build and invest in. That's more medium term, truthfully, in investing. But we're talking to existing games to come over because we're EVM compatible. Very easy to bring games over from other EVM chains. So in the next 3 months, a few things that folks can look forward to. Obviously, those DeFi projects that I mentioned. We're definitely excited to have DEXs, lend borrow protocols, etc. Basic financial tools that are really a step up from existing systems in a lot of different countries around the world because we have such a global user base. So really excited about that. We're also going to be announcing our first S Prize. So we had a post about that. That's going to be our kind of unique approach to building out the ecosystem, rewarding developers is this cool contest that we're calling the S Prize. So we'll be announcing that and running our first S Prize. And then other than that, alluded to NFTs, etc. But that's really what people can expect over the coming 3 months. There's a lot of builders coming out of the woodwork. They've seen the community, so we're just excited to kind of onboard these 40 plus projects and probably many more, get them set up, running, and introducing the core community to these projects.
That sounds really good. There are many things we can look forward to in the upcoming 3 months. And so what we can expect today is that it's about the listing of Core happening on central exchanges. And Bybit is one of the very close partners with the listing for the Core site. So I believe there are many traders or investors or potential users here in our Twitter space. So CJ and Brandon, is there anything you want to share with them since it's closer to the listing time?
Yeah, I would just say educate yourselves on Core, read up. We have a lot of content on our Medium. Read up on the governance, read up on the design, give us feedback, share to the contributors, share on Twitter your thoughts. But think deeply about the work that's being done, and I think also understand that this is only the beginning. This is the very first launch of the airdrop and really mass distribution event for Core tokens. And I think the human brain tends to overestimate
Is
Did CJ
CJ?
drop off?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh man, that was powerful. So I hope he comes back. So I'll try and fill in for him, but I don't want to speak on his behalf. But I think he was alluding to some great points there. But yeah, one thing is
World and of
we should
evolution.
really. Oh,
Hey CJ, we lost you for around 20 seconds, I think.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know where I was last lost, but I was sharing about being a student of the digital currency ecosystem is, I think, a very important principle or a very important thing that we've brought forward in our design, combining the best of Ethereum and Bitcoin. And it's something we'll bring to our roadmap that we'll publish here soon. Really learning from the best in design of others that I think is very important for progress. And so be a student, learn, and it's just the beginning.
There are a lot more that is coming and many things we can expect to. So hey, in the end, before we end this to the space, so hey gentlemen, give me 2 minutes to share with our audience about the listing arrangements on Bybit, if that is workable. Sure. So about the listing, firstly, guys, everyone, as I mentioned, there is the airdrop happening, which is launched by Bybit and Corridor site. So if you can follow the Corridor Twitter and Bybit Twitter and also retweet and tag 3 friends, you will be able to share the prize pool of 50,000 USDT. Apart from that, if you deposit core tokens to Bybit, we will be able to give you the extra bonus. And if you are a new user signing up on Bybit, we can also give you extra trading reward as well. Feel free to read the most recent announcements from Bybit blog to know more about the information. Okay, and also the listing is happening in less than 7 hours actually. Guys, please stay excited and join the Corridor ecosystem as soon as possible.
Thank you so much for the partnership and support, May and the whole team at Bybit.
Thanks for your time today, guys.
Ditto. Yeah, we're excited. Just over
it's
6
just 7
hours.
hours.
So,
yeah. 6 hours and 19 minutes, exactly.
Yeah, you bet. So really exciting time for this community and early in the journey. Lots of amazing work and just fun. This stuff should be fun too.
And it's just getting started. You already have 1.6 million followers on Twitter. Hopefully we can see 2 million very soon, guys.
Hopefully we can see 6.9 billion pretty soon.
Yes, you mentioned. Everyone. Okay. Thanks for your time, guys. And let's look forward to the listing. Remember to join our campaign, everyone here. Okay? Cheers.
Perfect. Thank you.